1 minute left to grid up before we get on with this exciting first inaugural Jules Villeneuve race in the Star Mazda. One competitor will be racing with an Oculus Rift DK2 today, and you know who it is. It's Gamer Muscle. Yes, starting at the back, it's almost as if he hasn't practiced a track and turned up with a turnip in his trousers. But he's going to keep out the way, he's going to avoid the carnage at the start and hopefully not finish last. 33 seconds as we get ready for this race to get underway. The crowd absolutely going wild with excitement. And the drivers rev their engines, the setups tweaked, the car's warm. Good luck everybody, let's hope there's no crashes at the start. Here we go. So there we go, onto the start grid at the back. Look at this.
James, Paul Tracy's not starting this race. We should have a clean start today. Reporting from the pits.
Some radio communication there. Look at the grid. It's like a traffic jam. It's like Tesco's car park. Here we go. Red light, red light, red light. Green light. Go, go, go. Oh. Okay, this is going to be... I'm going to take it really easy. This is going to be a total disaster. There always is a crash at the start. There we go. Oh, dear. Oh, no. It's the opportunity to get past. Sneaky beaky like. Oh, look at that, like a ninja.
4 times already. Fucking idiot.
Oh, there's some anger there. Sorry about the language. Unfortunately, some drivers there voicing their opinion of the starts of this race. It might be a bit reminiscent of the Formula 3 races you'll have seen earlier in the year. But there's no marshals here. Oh, it's a lot of this down to the setups. I have to say, some of these setups are absolutely ludicrous in the first opening laps. The car's driving more like hovercrafts with oil on the bottom of them than vehicles. Hopefully I don't slow these people down, because I am a lot slower than some of these drivers. So we're going to take this really easy. And if someone's behind us, we're not going to get in their way. But look at this battle between... I can't tell because I've got my dial wrong and I'm not going to touch the black box with my DK2 on. With this happening in front, they're going to drive into each other. Oh no, he lets him... Oh my god! Brake's not working, clearly. Somehow not losing much time, even though we missed the corner. Time to go to the black box. Now we're on a bit straight. There we go. Patrick Dyer in front, battling Ida Shmanzdov. Can't read that because his name apparently is a Russian. Nice to see lots of nationalities in this. Oh god, everyone going right. Look at that, he's gone into the wall. Ho! Patrick Dunov, that's it. I think that's his race over. He's just given the wall a bit of a kiss, but that was not really much of a kiss. It was more of a headbutt, and his tyres have fallen off. Oh god, no grip brandy. I think you're supposed to just dab your brake as you go around there and hug the inside of the corner. Now we're behind the Russian now. Sorry if you're not Russian, but your name does look Russian. As he goes wide and almost kisses the wall, but that's how you want to be taking that corner. Look at this. These cars, I have to say, a lot more exciting to drive than the Skip Barber. Whoa, too wide around there, but it's okay. Just have to dab the accelerator, do a bit of a ballet dance, and we're through that. And I think we've probably met our pace now. I would be expecting some of the back markers to start approaching on us at some point once they get into pace, because everyone at the moment, as I say, you've got the first 2 laps where people's setups and tyres are warming up and the hovercraft turns into an actual race car, but also you find more experienced drivers tend to get into a sort of pace of things, and it takes them 2 or 3 laps to get into that. But at this point in time, we've got Daniel Jost jostling Ida Shmazanov. The Russian has moved in front of Daniel Jost. Incredible. That puts him into 7th place, and I'm still in 8th, which is quite remarkable considering we started off at the back of the grid. I'm not sure if we're going to keep this up, but... Oh, watch out. Whoa, Jesus Christ! Avoiding the crash. Oh, they say cut the course. No, we did not cut the course. We were trying to avoid killing someone. But that's iRacing. They say you've gone to the forest of death and back. Somehow surviving it. Unfortunately, we just lost a bunch of places. A little bit of panic there. Tiny bit of panic. Almost unnoticeable. The crowd not too impressed. They're just statically staring. They look like they've seen a ghost because they've been to the forest of death. But that's it. Some places lost, but we've gone from 7th to 11th through no fault of our own, mostly through the iRacing insane marshalling and the avoiding of a crash. But look at this, the other competitors don't seem to be that much faster. We must be in a very low tier if we've turned up and somehow managed to be midfield. And hopefully we can keep going though, and it makes for the more entertaining watching. Those of you with experienced with this car and this track will probably be thinking, why is he braking so early? Why is he not carrying enough speed around the corners? What is he doing with the default setup? But it doesn't matter because we're behind Jason Stout. Jason Stout, of course, he likes a lager. Bad joke. We're behind him. 10th place, we're 11th. Jason Stout 10th, and we've got Steve O'Malley, the first time we've seen him come into play, but he seems to be a fair distance behind us. Can't see him in the mirrors. 3 seconds behind us, and we're just 1.3 off Jason Stout, sorry. Oh, Jason Stout's walled it! They call it the Wall of Champions, but in this case it's the Wall of Noobs, and it's taken at least 3 drivers. So there we go. The key to success, it would appear, just keeping the car on the track and not going to the forest of death. Pieces d'auto, probably car parts in French. Oh God, total lack of grip here as we're sliding around like a penguin in a thunderstorm on an ice lake, but we're still in control. Kind of. We can easily get on the throttle a bit more, but I'm being a little bit timid. I'm just scared. We're back in 8th place. Happy birthday. I thought it was all over from that accident, but we're doing all right. We've got Sam Robert 3. Oh look, something's happened. Oh, something's happened to me as I've gone wide again, running wide. Sam Roberts 3 has given up. He's gone home. Goodbye. That puts us into 6th place. Oh God, we've got to brake sooner for that corner. It was taking a whole weekend to do that. And we've got Patrick Dyer in front of us again. 2.3 seconds in front of us. We're in 7th. The timing board yet to update, but this is going absolutely swimmingly. I'm not sure how many laps are left. We should probably put the lap timer on. So actually, we'll leave that as it is. We'll just keep going. There we go. Probably take more. You want to be in a little bit of a slide, I feel, with this car. A tiny, tiny, tiny slide through those kind of corners. A bit either on the brake or on the accelerator. And I think that's sort of how you, with the default setup, it feels as though that's how you know where the limit is. Oh dear, he's gone. There's another spin. It's really convenient. Steve O'Malley has decided to take himself out of the running, allowing us to move up even further. Oh God, we're doing a Tokyo drift there. Not a good time for that, but it's okay. Fast counter steer, come off the throttle, and the car falls back into line like a soldier being shouted at by the drill sergeant, and it's all okay. Just have to do some push-ups. GoDaddy, horrendous website, GoDaddy actually. They advertise all over the place. I've actually got 6 domains with them. God knows why I give them money. I mean, they do good offers, and I guess that's what it comes down to. But their website, you load it up, and it's like you're being bombarded by options, advertisements, services you're never going to ever want. GoDaddy. Sponsors of Circuit Jules Villeneuve. At least one bridge, that's all they could afford. Bavada have 2, and I can't remember who the other advertiser was, but there you go. I've actually fallen into their hands there because I've just talked about them, drawing attention to them, so now everyone's going to be knowing about them. There you go, Dodge have an even bigger billboard than everyone else. Oh dear, braking a bit funky there. Could have carried more speed through again. The lesson every single time, thinking, oh, we could go faster. There's a TV screen over there in case you want to watch an episode of EastEnders as you're driving down the straight. Oh, now it looks like the rest of the grid has gone. Oh, we don't want to go over there. So really, this is an opportunity to tidy things up. 8 seconds ahead. Emilio, I can't say this now, I can't even read it with the Oculus Rift whilst I'm driving. His name's like the old Lord of the Rings trilogy in a name. Ridiculous. Okay, let's try and read his name. Emilio Fernandez. We're halfway through the trilogy. We'll be on the Hobbit soon. Emilio, oh, they're catching up behind us. We've got to read his name out before we get overtaken by the back markers. Emilio Fernandez Hernandand. Emilio Fernandez Hernand. That's just his first name, probably. Oh, God, I've had an accident from reading someone's name. Amateur mistake there. Oh, they say you've been to the Forest of Death. Oh, come on, I've slowed down. Bloody hell. We need to, like, park up, have a sandwich, do a stakeout overnight, and then get going. The marshals already, I think the marshals have really ruined this race for me. And you know, they've really penalised this driver, but sometimes you just have to bend over and take it. The lesson is don't read Emilio Fernandez Hernandez. Don't read his name whilst you're trying to drive. But that's I guess we're now in 9th place. Let's try and catch back up with these guys. The driving went a bit out the window there as we were concentrating more on the talking than the driving. So let's rein things in. Hopefully we can catch up with these people and it will make for some more interesting driving. Oh, he's lost it! Oh no, he hasn't. It's an optical illusion. Thought he was doing some pirouettes in front, but he wasn't. Oh dear, be careful. You put a wheel on the grass in iRacing. iRacing grass is apparently very, very slippy. It's as if someone's gone over with the ice cubes and frozen the grass. It's that slippy, but that's just the character of iRacing. You just have to learn not to go on the grass, really. Oh, maybe our tyres are wearing out a little bit, or maybe because the driving is so atrocious by myself that we called down. It sounds like there's another car behind us, but I think it's just echoing off the wall. Oh no, there he is! He was invisible, he was right in my blind spot. Oh, let's try and stick behind us. There we go, we're losing positions now because these guys, they're getting into the swing of it, and we are horrendously slow. But let's stick behind him. The car model looks gorgeous, and his black skin makes it look like a sort of 80s F1 car almost. Look at that inside line. Let's give him something to think about. Awesome car model there with the Oculus Rift. Everything looking very real, very 3D. You see all the suspension geometry and the motor and the little the exhaust firing out. Although the flames seem to be coming out the wrong place. Feels fantastic with the Oculus Rift though when you're actually driving next to people, and you do get so much more visibility and awareness of what's around you. Although saying that, he was in my blind spot, I could hear him, and I think iRacing have actually done a good job with the sounds in terms of being able to position where other people are from the noise, even with stereo headphones. Look at this, they're going to crash into each other, so we'll take advantage of that. We'll just stay in the train. In the rear cabbage, first class cabbage. Don't know where that came from. In the rear carriage, we're in third class. Andrea Baldini is in second, but he's just moved up to first class. He's going to have to buy an upgrade ticket for that. Unfortunately, Steve O'Malley. You've got to be careful not looking at the names too much, because whilst we're looking at them, we might end up in the rear end of one of these cars. Steve O'Malley has had his ticket downgraded. He's been kicked out of first class for making too much noise. Ninth place, started off in 16th. I think we're faster than these guys in front, you know. I mean, they're probably slow because they're battling each other, but you know, they are. I can tell they are braking way too early. Fortunately for them, so am I. What are they doing? I'm just got to be aware of them braking a lot earlier, so I don't accidentally go in the rear of them. Of course, if someone brakes in front of you, normally or often the best option isn't to slam your foot on the brake, but it's to actually navigate your car around him a bit. Yeah, these guys are trundling because oh, that looks fantastic when they get. The closer they get, the more you can take advantage of the Oculus Rift's resolution, because obviously they're larger, so they take up more pixels, which increases the amount of detail. Oh no, he's walled it! Oh dear! How does he do that? That's another driver taken out by the walls. Seems like the walls on this track today are incredibly hungry because they're eating up the entire grid. Someone needs to get out and feed them. Ooh. Oh, you don't want to bounce this car. As soon as you bounce it, it starts sliding again. Although it does regain bite pretty fast, actually. It's not. It doesn't undulate like some vehicles. Oh god, we're going to burst the engine if we downshift like that without braking. Yeah, the car settles pretty fast, so I think on some tracks, maybe I guess on Monza, you could probably dink the inside of some curbs and get away with it. And some corners on this track, I'd assume you'd be able to do it. Of course, I think people running the faster setups will probably have the car set up tighter to the point where you wouldn't want to be banging on curbs too much. I'm not going to end up in a wall. It's the mission for today, not to get eaten by the track. Oh, we need to change up gear faster. Don't know how many more laps we've got. This feels like we're going to die of old age before this race finishes. But we've been close to people, so it's all good fun. I think that's the key thing with a iRacing race, or racing in general. You can have longer races, even up to like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, so long as you're near other drivers that are sort of the same skill level as you, and you've got at least, say, for longer races, sort of 20 plus grid, 15 plus grid, then it doesn't matter how long the race is, because it's all exciting, just, you know, trying to push yourself and battling for place, defending. It could go on forever and it'd always be exciting. Unfortunately, iRacing races aren't always full. I think the minimum for a race is 8, which for Star Mazdas isn't really enough. For Skip Barbers it's fine in the short races. But this race has been alright. I mean, not for the people that got taken out or crashed into the walls, but for just basic fun. It's been quite enjoyable. Let's go into first and wheel spin that corner for no apparent reason. Dodge. That entire audience sponsored by Dodge, but they don't know it because they can't actually see the advertisement. Porta toilets there, nice details. Oh dear. Sliding so much. I think you can see there's a second to last brake marker on the right hand side. Seems to be the brake point, but it's hard to actually line that up with me on the left hand side of the track as to where I need to brake. And then here I'm going for the bit of tarmac on the side, but I've gone wide here for no reason. We're losing time to this guy in front, Steve O'Malley. We're gonna, hopefully we can concentrate a bit and try and catch up with him. At the moment we're running wide, making a mess of it. I really want to know how many laps are left, so I know if I need to push on this guy, if I can just still cruise along, or, you know, chat whilst driving. I wouldn't say I'm cruising, I'm trying. I'm trying. Just need a bit more practice. As I say in previous videos, I have to practice so much to get up to within sort of a second of pace. So talking like 4 hours for a track and a car, which wouldn't be too bad. I guess if you go through iRacing and you learn each track, 4 hours for each track and car's not too bad. But when you play too many simulators and drive too many cars, it's like you've got such a hodgepodge ability with random cars. A DTM car on 2 tracks in Race Room, a GT car on 3 tracks in Assetto Corsa, and no cars in iRacing, so we need to get the practice going. Let's go through the thing here. Let's not go through the black box on the brake point. we want lap info. Sometimes when you just want to concentrate, oh there we go, 7 laps to go. They could display multiple boxes, you know. Actually, there's no reason why they couldn't have 2 or 3 black boxes in VR, because you can look around. That'd actually be really good. Get on it, iRacing. Forget your dynamic track. Let's talk about VR features. That's the future. But yeah, actually talking about features in iRacing, they released a video recently talking about them wanting to do a more dynamic track, as well as more weather features. I know they had, whoops, running wide. They had some issues before when they did the different weather settings with people joining the server, and it'd be one condition for one person, another for another, which is a little bit of a disaster. So they rolled that back and fixed it. But that's going to happen. But the dynamic track has the potential to be really, really interesting, because one of the big issues with driving simulators is that they really reward people that just have rote memory of a track and just develop a specific setup that you can do a hot lap with, and then you can use a variant of that setup in a race. And it's all about doing very, very ridiculously precise replications of your hot lap over and over and over again, and you might not even need that good a racecraft to do relatively well. Whereas in my opinion, what makes racing exciting, or the more interesting aspect of racing, is when you've got racecraft dynamically reacting to differences and variables and having to think on your toes. That's interesting racing. To me, the other sort of racing is pretty much comes down to who put the most time into the car setup and who just happened to have the most time to practice that specific track. So with a dynamic road surface, it's quite likely that we'll have a situation where drivers that like to drive on the toes, oh god, we don't want to do that, they say you've cut the track. They say you've been to the Forest of Doom again. There goes your opportunity to catch up with that guy. I don't know how much you have to slow down actually, probably don't have to slow down that much, so we'll have to actually test that and find out. But with the dynamic track, I think what's going to happen is drivers that like to be on the toes, or people that happen to be rich enough or lucky enough to have a servo wheel, will really benefit compared to drivers that do the rote memory driving. And it could make for a lot more dynamic racing as well. Just outside of the handling, I think you'll end up with more situations because of the racing line being the grippy line, and you know, people wanting to overtake on the less grip, or in front you might want to try and defend off the line and do certain things. So it could be really interesting. Of course, it could be a complete disaster, and it might make the driving more stale. So we'll actually have to see how it goes in practice. As it is, I mean, with any game, be it a simulator, these changes can sometimes go for good or bad. As you see in Formula 1, a lot of the changes might have seemed like a bright idea when they implemented them, but they've actually turned out to make the sport depressing. We can't say that word though, because we'll get sued and the video will get red flagged for simply mentioning the name of that type of motorsport. I think the race is pretty much over as far as I'm concerned, because well, in terms of overtaking more drivers, maybe there'll be an accident with people pushing on the final laps. 5 laps to go. So we just let's try and put in some faster laps. Actually, let's concentrate a little bit on the lapping. But I think you know, I've signed up to iRacing now for a year. Took advantage of their $50 offer, and someone referred using my name, which was nice of them. So I got $10 off on that as well. So thank you. I forgot who it was, but thank you for doing that. And if you're thinking of doing iRacing, make sure well, don't make sure you use my name. Use my name or someone else's name. You know, so they get $10 for free. If you're gonna use something, you might as well use someone's name. And yes, I'm going to be on this for the next year at least. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy any more tracks and cars, because I've got most of them, to be honest, for the cars I like. I'm lying. I'm going to pick up a GT car at some point, because they seem really busy and they seem to be a good compromise between speed, in that they're quite fast, so the laps aren't boring, but they're also very populated in the races, but they're also a lot easier to drive than, you know, like these once you start getting to the Formula cars, which are very snappy and a lot harder to master. So they probably make for more interesting videos and interesting races to have side-by-side racing with. So we'll probably get one of them. 4 more laps to go. I don't want to go into first gear there. We need to just carry the speed through that so that we can stay in second. If you're really on it in this car, you should literally be pushing through the corners, and the car should be just shuffling out on some of them, so you're just scraping the wall on the sort of side shuffle of the vehicle. That's when you're absolutely on the limit. I mean, I must be at least, it feels as if I'm maybe 6 seconds off the pace at the moment, so there's a lot of practice to do. One thing that's nice is I've got fan LEDs installed in the clubsport V2 pedals, and I'm getting a vibration on the brake when the car's near to the limit. I'm not sure if that's just based off the pressure, as it is in a lot of games, or if it's actually when the car's actually close to the limit of the tyres locking up. I need to fiddle with that a bit more with iRacing, but it seems to be rumbling close to the point of being at where the wheel's going to lock up, so that's nice, and I'll sort of have to get used to that and use that as a bit of feedback. You really have to take what you can get with driving simulators, because you're so detached from the vehicle. Oculus Rift, G25 and the vibration motor on the pedal, that's all you're really getting. So we'll try and listen out for clues as to get this car on the limit. 3 more laps. We haven't been lapped. We're in position 8 of 16, starting at the back of the grid. That's not too bad, I have to say. Again, we've got progressively slow. I think I went into neutral then. Need to pay way more attention. Oh, again cutting the track. We're going to get into trouble. Oh, here we go. It tells you how much time you need to yield on this. That was terrible. If we cut that corner one more time. The thing is, I think it's better to cut that corner if you mess it up than it is to drive into the wall. No one's catching up with us though. Under the bridge. Two laps to go, so really, as I say, it's been an alright race. In terms of other simulators at this point in time, we've signed up, or I say I've signed up to Race Department. Hopefully we'll do some organised racing in a set of course. We'll probably use the GT cars or something that's accessible that doesn't need too much practice. I'm really hoping that with Race Room Racing Experience, they've got a private service, so people are running leagues on that, but what I was hoping is that Sector 3 at some point will implement some kind of skill system and stat tracking system, because that will that'd be really fun just for jump-in racing, sort of less serious public racing, but at least being with people at a similar skill level. Until that happens, I think we'll just keep, we'll keep playing Race Room casually. I did buy, they had a weekend sale recently, and I had some credits that I bought ages ago. So I bought up some of the different class cars, so we can just jump in and race on that. So we'll give that a go in a video soon. I definitely, if you want to do more sort of casual sim racing, you just want to jump in and drive online, Race Room is one of the best for that type of racing at this point in time. They've got a really good system where it sort of auto goes people if they spin. Has a really good penalty system that auto slows people down, but it's just done in a way that works really well on public service. Very similar to how Live for Speed used to operate back on the Red Line Racing servers. The Oculus Rift fogging up now, absolutely baking in the United Kingdom these last 2 days. If you live in the UK, I think it's been the hottest sort of 2 days for a long time, hotter than I can remember. It was sort of 35 degrees yesterday. Felt like I was swimming in a volcano just walking around. So that's obviously not good with the Oculus Rift DK2, and as you sort of sweat, even driving quite casually as I am now, it can fog up the screen. Fortunately, with the Consumer Rift, let's hit the break point. With the Consumer Oculus Rift, they've made it a lot lighter, so that should be less of a problem. But they've done a really nice design where it's fabric and quite airy on top of the plastic, so there should be a really good positive airflow through it, meaning that it doesn't actually fog up. And I presume as well the lenses will be coated with, you know, there'll be far higher quality lenses. The ones on the DK2 are just plastic nonsense lenses. The ones on the Consumer Rift will be far higher quality, maybe even made of some sort of... No, it'll probably still be plastic. So it could be made of glass, but it probably will be some sort of plastic. But they'll probably put some kind of coating on it that makes it less likely to fog up. So
Nice race, Alexander.
that'll be really nice.
Good one.
It's been an incredible race, but look, the driver that started in 16th position is now in 8th place. It's unbelievable. How has he done it? He managed to miss all the crashes. He managed to miss all the walls, despite being completely off the pace. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. It's iRacing in the style Mazda at Circuit Jules Villeneuve. First race. Excitement. As we come to the final few corners, who won the race? Oh God! Let's. The race winner, Alexander von Rampiou, with 29 minutes 50 seconds, followed by 3 seconds by Sathya. Let's hit the break point first before reading that name again. Second, Sathya Musi and Vittorio Saltamalach in third. And there we go, across the finish line. It really was an exciting race, possibly one of the most exciting races I've ever borne witness to, with an Oculus Rift DK2. Sam Robert in 6th place, Steve O'Malley 7th, Daniel Josh 5th, Emilio Fernandez Her in 4th, and that's it. Those are the runners. It's a shame about the accident at the start of the race, but it's pretty much inevitable that's going to happen, because this is iRacing after all. The marshal decisions surely going to be argued by the teams there, with them some debatable decisions there, causing drivers to slow down unnecessarily, especially on the midway through the race, where drivers were trying to avoid a crash, but the marshals forced them to slow down. Quite remarkable, really. But that's iRacing marshalling. It's been good racing with you guys. Thank you for racing with me. Remember, this video will be uploaded to the YouTube channel Gamer Muscle Videos promptly, probably tonight, maybe tomorrow. Goodbye. So that was it. That bit of advertising in game. I'm absolutely baked. I'm sweating. I'm like a chicken that's been fried. It's all the fat's coming off the face. But that's it. That's iRacing in the style Mazda Circuit Jules Villeneuve. Good fun race for the first half. Sorry that we weren't particularly close towards the latter part of the race, but it was good fun, as I say. So I'll see you guys in my next video, and don't forget to like, subscribe and all that business, and leave a comment. And if you're in the race and you see this, leave a comment. Goodbye.